Thank you, sir. And I'm still the same.
Enter the old one.
Ms. Byram, may I have a roll call, please?
Mrs. Anderson,
Here.
Mrs. Dawson,
Here.
Miss Harrington,
Here.
Mrs. Quintern,
Here.
Mr. Rickett.
Here.
Madam Chair, the clerk certifies the presence of a quorum.
All right, let's stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Is there any adjustments to the agenda?
No. I believe we have one, Madam Chair. Are we going to be?
The closed session certification,
Comes Mr. Arnold.
adding the
Superintendent's contract.
superintendent's contract to that.
Perfect time.
I had updated the agenda so it reflects that
Oh,
already.
perfect. Okay, great.
Okay, and I'll just add it in the.
Okay. All right. May I have a motion, please?
Move to approve the agenda as presented.
May I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor by saying aye?
Aye.
All right, moving on. Ms. Dawson, too.
Thank you, Madam Chair. We have Mr. Arnold here, and he is going to discuss finalizing a contractor for the OCHS tennis court restoration.
Thank you, Ms. Dawson, Madam Chair, members of the board. We have been looking to find a way to rehabilitate our tennis courts, which are, they've previously had our cracks filled and the courts resurfaced, but have now reached a point that the four older courts behind the VOAG building have huge cracks that are completely unplayable. I'm talking cracks like this for those of you that haven't been over there. And the two newer courts between the Ag building and the track have similar smaller cracks, and those also are not suitable for Virginia High School League play. So this project will include milling and disposal of the existing asphalt, grading and compaction of the existing base, placement of 3 inches of asphalt surfacing in 2 layers that's designed for tennis courts, coating and striping the new asphalt, and removal and replacement of the tennis nets, net posts, and all the fencing and gates. This project also includes striping for 4 pickleball courts, and that's overlaid on the tennis courts, so those courts can be used for either. And that will provide more recreational opportunities for our students as well as the community, has the support of the county administration as well. The contractor is Superior Tennis Courts out of Culpeper, and the dollar amount is, don't know why it's not showing up on, $438,800. Any questions or comments from the board?
How many bids did we receive on the project?
We received 3 bids, and theirs was considerably low.
Doug, quick question. So tennis courts will have the post in the asphalt. The pickleball, is that gonna be something we move?
I believe so, because it'll be separate nets and.
So
it's
maybe
like
not, that
4 of
won't
them.
be fixed?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
Um,
designed to be
Maybe you and
adaptable.
Marshall can get together. Marshall probably already knows what I'm thinking. So if it's not fixed, it won't be there long. So I don't know what kind of protocol or whatever you guys can work out. I'm sure the county, is going to want to use it as well. So we do have a building where we store the track, equipment as well. I don't know what the logistics are. I'll stay out of it, but that would be my only concern. But thanks for including in that the public and the community, I think, will be very, very pleased to have another additional pickleball and tennis courts that have been upgraded.
Yes, indeed.
It's been long needed.
And the additional cost for striping for pickleball was only $3,200, so it was a no-brainer.
Yeah.
So,
Thank you.
but yeah, we'll look into some way to secure the additional netting.
What is the time frame?
I haven't set that up yet.
Okay.
I mean, I'm going to turn them loose as soon as we get the go-ahead, and
Okay.
I'll advise on the 17th, if not sooner.
Okay.
Madam Chair, I move to approve the restoration of the Orange County High School tennis courts as presented in the dollar amount of $438,800.
May I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor by saying aye?
Aye.
Thank
Thank you all very much.
Thanks, Doug.
Thank you.
Been a long time coming, huh? My goodness.
All right. All right. Closed session certification.
Pursuant to 2.2-3711A of the Code of Virginia, the Orange County School Board will convene a closed meeting for the following: discussion of personnel or the performance of a division employee as authorized by Section 2.2-3711A1 of the Code of Virginia for resignation, termination, transfer, employment, salary adjustment, retirement of employees, and the superintendent's contract.
May I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor by saying aye?
Aye.
Aye.
We're in closed session. Moving on. I didn't have to reboot my computer, which was great.
Nice.
Moving on to Ms. Dawson. Closed session certification, please.
Whereas the Orange County School Board has convened a closed meeting on this date pursuant to an affirmative recorded vote and in accordance with the provisions of the Virginia Freedom of Information Act. And whereas 2.2-3712D of the Code of Virginia requires certification by this school board that such closed meeting was conducted in conformity with Virginia law. Now therefore be it resolved that the Orange County School Board hereby certifies that to the best of each member's knowledge, 1, only public business matters lawfully exempted from open meeting requirements by Virginia law were discussed, and 2, only such public business matters as were identified in the motion by which the closed meeting was convened were heard, discussed, or considered.
May I have a second?
Second.
Ms. Byram?
Mrs. Anderson,
Aye.
Mrs. Dawson,
Aye.
Ms. Harrington,
Aye.
Mrs. Quintern,
Aye.
Mr. Rickett.
Aye.
Madam Chair, the clerk certifies the vote as follows: 5 yes votes and no votes. The resolution is approved by a 5-0 vote.
Okay. Deposition of personnel actions. Does come with your recommendation?
Does come with our recommendation, yes, ma'am.
Ms. Dawson?
I move to approve the recommended personnel agenda, including salary adjustment, rescinding offer, employment, and transfer of staff, and a coach appointment.
May I have a second?
Point of clarification, do we need to include the superintendent's contract?
I amend the motion to include the superintendent's contract.
Second.
All those in favor by saying aye?
Aye.
Aye.
Madam Chair, I had one more item to clean up from the last meeting.
Okay.
The policy that we discussed with regard to the absences, I wanted to make sure that those absences were in a row versus like if it was one absence and then another absence and then
So
like in March there's a third absence.
So we're changing it to 3, I think, if I remember correctly.
Yes,
and
it
then
was
make
to
it
3, but consecutive, yes.
Okay.
Sorry, Madam Chair.
That's okay. No, I appreciate that. Thank you. Anything else? All right. I adjourn this meeting. Thank you.